Yes, fellas, what's going on? Welcome back to the soon-to-be number one basketball podcast on YouTube, the Beater podcast. I'm struggling with words early on, but it's your boy Shiv as always, joined by Brandon. Brandon, what's up, man?
Going on, Chef. It's not only you stuttering tonight. We have a certain team stuttering tonight as well.
Yes, especially in the third quarter. Let's get into Dallas. So, what happened in that third quarter, Brandon?
Well, the Dallas went about 4 minutes without scoring a scoring a point, and it was the most unbelievable thing I could ever think about seeing. And I think Booker had another great game, and he and Bridges also had an excellent game as well. It was really lost in the third quarter, and that's when the blowout really began. So now they have to head back to Dallas and hope that Dallas will probably take a game, and and then the dreaded close out Chris Paul, man.
Ah,
Well, have to be very, very, very wary of that as well. So, it was an awful game tonight. I don't know if you saw any of it.
yeah, I saw the whole game actually. Dallas looked like they were starting off really good. I think I messaged you when they came off like a 10-3 start, and I'm like, yeah, the Mavs came to play. I like to see this, and they kept it relatively close, even in the second quarter when they went behind. They kept it close, but like you said, just completely fell off in that third quarter. I don't know what happened. Everybody just went cold really. That's the main story. I think they had more turnovers than points in the third quarter, which is never ever a good thing.
Yeah, they were definitely to step it up in the game going back home. Otherwise, I think it might be 2006.
Yeah, and yeah, I think the only two players that scored in the third quarter were Luka and Brunson, which isn't good. But you said going back to Game 6, real quick from the games we missed. Dallas was able to tie it up because they took the two games at home. So, like I say, going back home, it should be good for them because they won the fourth game by 10 points and the game 3 by 9 points. So they're relatively good at home. So hopefully they can force the game 7 at home. And it'll just be entertaining. I know for your sake, yeah, it's the best case scenario at this point. But Game 7 is always insane because you push to 7, you never know who's going to show up on Game 7. Like you mentioned, Chris Paul, I don't think he has a great record in Game 7. So you never know. You never know what can happen.
Yeah, anything is possible. Have to keep the dreams alive.
Yeah, and I mean, a 30-point blowout seems like a lot, but like the game really didn't feel like that until, like I said, the third quarter when that just really fell apart. But the Suns, the Mavericks really struggled for shooting tonight, and yeah, that's just really it. Struggle shooting when you're away from home. Speaking of struggling or shooting away from home, my boys, the Heat. Even though we won tonight convincingly, how we got here to Game 5, we dropped the two games away at Philadelphia because nobody could seem to remember how to shoot the basketball in Games 3 and 4. I think we shot like 16% from 3 over those two games. Nobody could have hit a 3, even open looks, nobody could have hit a 3 in those two games. And Duncan Robinson finally got his way back into the rotation, which is good because when you need 3-point scoring, he is like one of the guys you would look to. He started this game really good, but I think he got hooked early after. I'm trying to pull up his stats to see exactly how much minutes he played. Yeah, he played about 13 minutes. He only hit 1 3, but in my head, it looked like a lot more, but I guess not. But yeah, we did enough today to get the win. Jimmy Butler, who has been having probably one of the best playoff runs, call me bias if you want. He dropped 40 points in Game 4, but he still couldn't get done. But he cooled down a little bit. He only had 23 points, but everybody else came to play today, which is good because I believe we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 other guys in double-digit scoring, which is always good. Tyler Hero's struggles continue. I don't know what's been going on with him. He only showed up in the first two games. Same thing with Bam, but Bam was a lot better defensively today. He kind of he contained like 40% Joel Embiid because he's fighting through the injuries right now. Both him and Harden finished with negative 29 in the plus minus.
Negative 29, shit.
Yeah, that's something. But touching on James Harden, he actually had he rolled back the years to like 2018, 2017, back when he was in his prime, because he had a extremely great game 4. And I believe he finished like 31 points, and yeah, he looked really, really good in that game. But this game, not so much. But actually, Brandon, as a neutral, right? I don't. Did you watch Game 4?
Yeah, I did.
Right. So as a neutral, what do you think of the officiating in that game? Just curiosity.
Oh my God! I mean, I know we're trying to make this video shorter, but I mean, we could talk for like a whole hour about the officiating of these playoffs, and I don't know, man. I feel like they really need to like stop trying to question every call. Like it just makes everything so
Yeah.
cumbersome. Is there something particular you wanted to talk about though? That
Um.
happened in the game?
Well, in this game, not really, but a lot of my complaints would really come from Game Four because there were so
Mm-hmm.
many chances. I think PJ took it especially in Game Four. There were so many chances where he just went for a rebound or just well, you know how PJ plays. He plays hard and he plays that. He plays hard,
Yeah.
and they just kept calling like a bunch of soft fouls on him, and because of that,
Mm-hmm.
he wasn't able to play as hard, gritty defense as he normally does. And when you don't have that, that kind of like that's a big shot in our defense. So I don't know in that aspect, I think the officiating was very questionable, I would say. But talking to you and like other neutrals, they said the officiating was bad on both ways. But again, watching from a Heat fan perspective, it seemed like everything was just going against us. But I don't know. No. The officiating game four had me very questionable and had me very what's the right word looking for here? But
Don't feel like it's a heat thing because I feel it's just like a officiating thing on the whole. Like all the officiating has been like
yeah,
questionable in the playoffs so far.
yeah. So I don't know. And something to Kyle Lowry missed this game, game five.
Oh yeah, he did. That was another thing I was supposed to ask about. Yeah.
Yeah, he re-injured his hamstring in game four, I believe, and I think it's best when we sit him because he's a great player. If you look at just his box score and stuff, you're not gonna see all the stuff he does with the counting stats that he doesn't provide to like hustle, charges, all those good stuff because he does a lot of small things as well. But
Mm-hmm.
I think when he sits, he's a lot. The team is a lot better because it opens up minutes, obviously, for Victor Oladipo, Duncan Robinson, and unfortunately Tyler Hero, who has been mid in this playoff so far. But yeah, like I said, I think as on the bench, coaching and telling everybody what to do, I think he's great at that. So I think until he's like fully 100%, that he should just completely rest up until that hamstring injury is completely gone. And I think we should be fine without him. But hopefully, later in playoffs, maybe the Eastern Conference Finals and the finals, maybe he's fully healthy then, and then you bring him back. Or even if he is fully healthy and the team is still clicking, probably have him come off the bench or play not too many times. But yeah, that's kind of what I have to say about that because he played game four, and he wasn't good at all. I can't remember exactly his stat line, but he wasn't particularly good at all in that aspect. Oh yeah, and in game three too, just real quick, Danny Green turned into Ray Allen. He had the
Yeah, he
most
did.
points in his career in the playoffs. Most 3 pointers made everything. So mad stats coming from him. But yeah, that's kind of what I have to say about this series so far. Yeah, any other thoughts you want to add in real quick?
Well, I mean, after the result tonight, I think the 76ers might be done and dusted there. But going back to Philly, sorry, yeah, going back to Philly, yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting closeout game. It'll be real fun to see what Embiid and Harden do in a closeout game because Harden is very notorious for being underperforming in closeout games. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in the next game.
Yeah, and Embiid just isn't 100%. Like I said, he took a whack to the face from the basketball today, and
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I saw that.
yeah,
Yeah.
it didn't look good. He was kind of like you could tell he was in a lot of pain, so it didn't really look good. I hope he heals up. It kind of sucks that he's been injured this entire series, but
Hmm.
hey, I'll take it. I'll take it. So move on to the other two series we have the what's call it the Bucks and the Celtics and the Warriors and the Grizzlies. Which one do you want to talk about first?
I think we should get the Warriors and the Grizzlies out of the way because that is pretty much that series is pretty much over.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, I think with Ja going down, I think that was pretty much it. And I don't think even if he comes back, he's not going to be 100%. I don't think. I think the Warriors will close it out in the next game.
Well, this is the interesting thing. So, in this regular season, I don't know exactly, but I know as a fact the Grizzlies played better when Ja was injured than when he was
Yeah,
playing. So, I mean, Ja going down, it could be a bit of a blessing in disguise for the Grizzlies because um, the game that happened yesterday, game four, this was, they led for 47 minutes of the game, but
yeah, they did.
that doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is who's leading when that final buzzer scores. And for the Warriors, they had their get out of jail card. thanks to some monumental choking from the Grizzlies. And yeah, so the report I saw today, I don't know if you saw it, was I think Jazz going to be out for the rest of the playoffs basically, because I think it was like a bone bruise or something they reported.
Yeah,
so he's basically done for the playoffs, which kind of sucks. And it kind of brings up another thing too about this series is that there have been a lot of, I don't want to call it dirty plays, but like a lot of tough defensive plays where like you really have to like see the kind of gritty tough side of basketball on the defensive side, because the play everybody's talking about was obviously, you had Draymond slapping that guy in the face and getting ejected.
Yeah.
And then you had Dylan Brooks fracturing Gary Payton's elbow or hand, I can't remember. And then you have what Jordan Poole did. I don't know exactly what the plays because I saw two different ones, but the main one I saw was Jordan Poole kind of grabbing Jazz knee and kind of twisting it while pushing on his like ankle or something.
Yeah.
So like it's some questionable plays. I think Desmond Bain kind of fell on or dived to Poole's knees as well in game 3. So it's rough. It's rough in this series. And who would have thought this would be the series with things escalating to this level? But yeah. So going back to this game 4 here. Like I said, they were leading for basically the entire series, and I believe it was it Brandon? No, not Brandon Clark. It was who took that dumb 3, dog? That kind of just completely killed the.
I think it was Jaren Jackson.
No, I'm not talking about the one at the end of the game. Somebody took a 3 to come down to the end of the game. I think it was Dylan Brooks or something. Or maybe it might have been Jaren Jackson, but it took a stupid 3 and it kind of killed all the momentum for the Grizzlies. And that's when the Warriors really started to rally and come back in the fourth quarter. And they eventually did get the job done and get over the line, which is mad. But can you start to say, yeah, I think it probably was Dylan Brooks because he shot 2 of 9 from 3. And I saw a stat where like he long story short, he's not having a good time from 3 in the playoffs so far. So he needs to stop doing that. And yeah, the last play to close the game was just this kind of shows the deficiencies of a young team in the playoffs where they don't really know what they're doing in some aspects, because the last shot to the game, I think they were down by 1 or 2 points, I can't remember. And then Jaren Jackson took it through while he was triple teamed and Draymond Green was right in his face. And somebody right next to him was wide open, I can't remember who it was. And my dog, if you just throw it to him, he's probably not going to make it, but he's wide open. You have a better chance than you. So, like, those situations like that. And even coming down to, they had possession of the ball. They were down by 3, I think. And then they took a quick 2, and then they immediately fouled Steph. Like, that makes no sense, though, because Steph, I think he's the best free throw shooter in the NBA history. So just foul him immediately after. Yeah, it's just, you just did nothing, basically. Because you cut the lead by 1, Steph makes his 2 free throws, you're back down by 3 with just less time on the clock now. And I don't think they called a timeout when they had it. It's to like set a good play or something. So like it just kind of really shows the deficiencies of a young team in the playoffs, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I think that experience that Golden State has is really what's taking them over the line right now. And on top of that, Curry had 16 points in the fourth quarter. You know, that's actually kind of mad.
That's crazy.
Because people don't really associate Curry would be in that clutch in the fourth quarter. But and the other thing is too that the Grizzlies have now lost 4 games in a row without Ja. So that's not a good record to have, considering he's not going to be back for the rest of the series. Yeah, well, that just kind of throws out everything said about the Grizzlies being better without him. Yeah. Also, what I found interesting too to start this game was the Warriors couldn't buy a 3 at all. They started like 0 of 15 from the 3, which with the Warriors is like that never happens. Though they finished 9 of 37 from 3, which again never happens for this Warriors team. So yeah, chance of them doing that again are slim to none. So yeah, like you said, probably this series is done and dusted. But I believe at home, they could show some fight in them and maybe they could steal that game 5. But I think game 6 is when probably it's done for them. Yeah, I think it's over.
Yeah. And well, we can just move right along to the last series we have here. For the slate of games, we have Boston and Milwaukee. So yeah, this is a series that also has been tied up 2-2, and it also has its fair share of questionable plays. And also like some clips of Giannis doing some stuff, but I just think that's the way he plays, because he is that he plays bully basketball. He's the closest thing we'll ever see to Shaq again. in terms of
Yeah.
he's just gonna get the ball run through you no matter who you are. He's gonna bulldoze his way through and just get to the basket. And interestingly enough, in this game 4 that we had yesterday, it was a person that took over that I don't think anybody would have expected to. It was Big Al Horford in his
Al Horford,
in his big age taking over the game. There was a play early on where he like you saw that like he got pissed off and he like, yeah, you shouldn't do that, and everybody's like, man, it's Al Horford. What's he gonna do? Well, he's gonna drop 30 points and he's gonna take over the game and win the game for the Celtics. And yeah, I don't think anybody saw this coming. Talk to me about the Al Horford takeover game.
Well, I mean, Al Horford is really the one who won the game for them because he was 11 or 14 from the field, 5 or 7 from 3. He also had 8 rebounds and 3 assists. And
Beautiful.
he was just taking it to the box. He was just taking it to the box for the whole night. And I mean, if you look at the Bucks scores as well, 4 of them, 5 players in double figures. And they just could not deal with 30 from Jason Tatum and 30 from Al Horford.
Yeah. Traditionally, when you have 2 players putting up 30 points, you're not going to win. Even though Jason Tatum put up 30 points, like I said, the real story of this game was the Al Horford game.
Yeah, it was the Al Horford, yeah. This is the everybody remember this game for Al Horford being sensational.
Yeah, I saw somebody say pissed off Al Horford is a top 5 player in the league. So, I mean, yeah, another interesting stat, so I can't remember the exact numbers, but Drew Holiday, I believe he has like 137 points and like 147 shots in the playoffs so far. I don't think that's the exact numbers, but something close to that. And yeah, that's just not good from your starting point guard. With Drew, he has his off nights and he has his on nights. More often than not, he tends to be off, but he's a great defender, which makes up for his offensive struggles. Oh shit! Oh, hold on, man. Sorry about that. Yeah, so he makes up for the offensive struggles, but like I said, Al Horford and Giannis battling, going blow for blow in a playoff game is something that I didn't see coming.
Yeah, that one took everybody by surprise. The other thing that was really surprising too is that in this game, Giannis and Drew were 19 of 54 from the field.
Yikes.
And you're not beating anybody with that. And the Bucks also only scored 9 threes, even though they were 33%. So I mean, I really don't know how the Bucks. I think the Bucks lost this game though. Instead of Boston winning it, like the Bucks were in total control at one point, and they just lost control of the game.
Yeah,
and they just could not control anything in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and they were at home too, and now that they've done that, it kind of it's like we stole home court advantage in game 1, I believe, and now it's a best of 3 series, and now it's the Celtics have the home court advantage again.
Exactly.
Yeah, and what's interesting about this is this is out of the 4 series, 3 of them were two games apiece, and we had the 2 important game 5s tonight, which we talked about earlier. But this game 5 that's happening tomorrow, which will be today, my time, everybody's seeing this. It's a very important game 5. It's the swing game 5 because I believe the teams that win game 5 go on to win the series 85% of the time or something like that. So yeah, it's a big game we have coming up tomorrow with them there. You have anything you want to add about the other game before this game 3 in this series? Because I missed this game completely.
Game 3, I believe game 3 was the one when Giannis didn't play particularly well, but they still ended up winning the game.
Yeah. Yes, I saw the end of this game. This is when
this is the Jason Tatum 4 for 19 game.
Yeah, 10 points Tatum.
And Giannis went 42, 12, and 8. I think he also had 2 steals and 2 blocks. So I mean, that one was a really good game. And this one also had some really weird calls in it too. I think this one was the one where Marcus Smart was taking the shot at the end, and they were supposed to give a shooting foul instead of giving a foul on the floor. It was real strange. So
mad to close the game.
This one went all the way to the end.
Yeah, I saw the end of this game where it was a free throw, and then Marcus Smart missed intentionally, and somebody got it tip in, but it was just too late. I think it was Al
I think it
Horford
was Al
itself.
Horford,
Yeah. Hey, big. I think I saw a stat too, like right before we came on to record this. I think he's the most efficient offensive player in the playoffs so far. I think it's
I
him.
wouldn't doubt that.
It's him. I can't remember who's number 2, and Jimmy Butler's number 3. But yeah, I saw people say ironically that Al Horford has been the Celtics' best player so far in the playoffs. So big Al Horford rolling back the years. Who would have seen it coming?
I don't think anybody saw it coming, to be honest.
Yeah, and
That was an amazing game. One of the great performances.
yeah. Well, going to the game 5, we kind of said what we think gonna happen with the Warriors. I think Memphis gonna win. You think they're gonna close it out? But how do you think you see game 5 going here with Boston and Milwaukee?
I don't know, boy. This one is such a tough game to call, but I really think Giannis doesn't lose back-to-back games anymore. So I feel like he will take this one and the Bucks will win tomorrow.
I don't know. To be honest, I don't even know who's gonna win this game. But just for the kicks, I think I'll go to Celtics. I see another big Al Horford performance incoming.
I think we'll get more Bobby Portis. I think Portis only played 15 minutes in the last game.
Yeah.
So I think we'll get more Bobby Portis in the next game, and hopefully that will cause them to win the game.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything else you wanna add into the series?
No, I think as usual, I think this series is actually panning out to be everything we thought it would be, as opposed to every other one of the series.
Yeah, just 2 great defenses going back and forth, and yeah. Well, I think we could wrap it up there. A little bit of a shorter episode today. We're trying something out different, but guys, as always, your feedback is appreciated. Let us know what you think. And yeah, Brandon, anything else you want to say before I close it up?
Bucks in 6.
Mavs in 7.
Oh yes, you know that one. Boy, that one is from the Hawks.
And Heat in 6.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That one will probably happen though.
Yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed. But yeah, guys. With that being said, that brings us to the end of another episode. Thank you guys for watching as always. It's been your boy Brandon and Shivs. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you guys later.
Yeah, guys.